Ever get the feeling your business could be working harder for you even when you're not around? Like it could be out there charming potential customers you haven't even met yet.
You're talking about the power of online reviews, right?
Exactly. And today we're taking a deep dive into the world of Google business reviews.
Those little snippets of feedback can be absolute gold, especially for Australian businesses.
Okay, so let's break it down. Why are these Google reviews so crucial? What's the big deal?
Well, think of them as like the modern-day version of word of mouth. You know how much we all rely on recommendations from friends and family?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's like that stamp of approval you need before trying something new.
Exactly. And research shows that online reviews carry that same weight. In fact, a recent study showed that 93% of consumers check out online reviews before making a purchase.
93%. Wow. That's a huge chunk of potential customers.
It is. So whether you're a cafe on a corner or an online store, good Google reviews can make or break you.
All right, so people are definitely checking these reviews before they even think about spending their hard-earned cash. But what does that mean for Australian businesses specifically? What's the impact?
Well, for starters, a healthy stream of positive Google reviews can do wonders for your online presence.
You mean like helping people actually find you online?
Yeah. It pushes your business higher up in those Google search results.
Hmm.
Think about it. When you search for something online, don't you usually just click on those top few results?
Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
I rarely scroll past the first page.
Right. So the more positive reviews you have, the higher you climb in those rankings, and the more visible you become to potential customers. And visibility, as we know in the online world, is everything.
It's true. It's like that old saying, out of sight, out of mind, but for the digital age.
Exactly. But it's not just about getting seen.
Okay, so there's more to it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It also boils down to building trust. Think about it. A bunch of positive reviews basically act as a vote of confidence for your business.
Yeah.
It's like having a whole crowd of happy customers vouching for you, saying, hey, this business is legit. They deliver.
So it's like that social proof we were talking about earlier, but on a larger scale. Like a whole bunch of people are giving you their thumbs up.
Exactly. And for small businesses in Australia, that kind of trust and credibility can be a real game changer.
Okay. I'm starting to see how powerful this can be. But how do you actually get those glowing reviews in the first place? Do you just sit back and cross your fingers?
Well, you can definitely encourage the process a little. A lot of happy customers just need a little nudge, a little reminder to share their experience.
So how do you do that without being too pushy?
That's where review request templates come in.
Oh yeah, those proven templates you mentioned earlier. What's the secret sauce there?
Well, a good template walks this fine line between being personal, specific, and keeping it super simple.
Okay, break that down for me. What does it mean to personalize a review request?
Well, think about it. When someone remembers your name or something specific about you, doesn't it make you feel good, like they actually care?
Yeah, it makes you feel seen and valued.
Exactly. And it's the same with your customers. Addressing them by name, referencing their specific purchase or experience, makes the request feel more genuine, like a conversation rather than just some generic mass email.
So it's about making that personal connection, showing you actually value their feedback. What about specificity? How does that play into it?
Well, specificity is all about guiding your customers to give you useful feedback. Instead of just asking, how was your experience, which can be a bit vague, you can prompt them to talk about specific things, like how was the service? Did they enjoy the atmosphere? How did they find the staff?
So you're basically giving them a starting point, making it easier for them to write a helpful review?
Precisely. And finally, there's simplicity. Don't make them jump through hoops just to leave a review.
Makes sense. So how do you keep a review request simple?
Keep the instructions crystal clear and provide a direct link straight to your Google Business Review page.
Easy peasy.
Exactly. Plus, Australians value a straightforward, friendly approach. No need to beat around the bush. Just get to the point.
Totally agree. Keep it simple and sincere. Now, speaking of those templates, you actually sent me a couple of great examples. Do you want to run through those?
Yeah, let's take a look.
All right. So the first one is called After Service Follow-Up, and the subject line is, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
That's a really inviting subject line. It's not demanding or pushy.
It's just a gentle nudge to share their feedback.
Exactly. And in the email itself, you'd start by personalizing it with the customer's name, thanking them for their business, and then gently ask them to share their experience on Google. And of course, don't forget to include that direct link to your review page.
Making it as easy as possible. Now, the second template is Post-Purchase Review Request, and the subject line is, how was your experience with product or service?
Oh, I like that one. Super straightforward and to the point.
And it's great for online stores or businesses offering specific services.
Exactly. Just like the other template, you'd personalize it with their name, mention the specific product or service they purchased, and encourage them to share their feedback on Google. Again, making sure to include that clickable link.
Both templates are super clear and easy to tailor to different types of businesses. But let's be real, not every review is going to be a glowing 5-star rave.
True. Negative reviews are part and parcel of doing business.
So how do you handle those less than stellar reviews? What's the best approach?
Well, first things first, don't panic. Even negative reviews can be valuable. It's all about how you handle them.
Okay, so walk me through it. What's the first step?
Respond quickly and professionally. Acknowledge their concerns and offer a solution whenever possible.
So it's about demonstrating that you're listening, you're taking their feedback seriously, and that you actually care about making things right.
Exactly. A little bit of Aussie courtesy can go a long way. And, even for positive reviews, a simple thanks for your feedback can work wonders.
Yeah.
It shows you're paying attention. You're not just ignoring them.
So engagement is key, whether the feedback is positive or negative. But what about the bigger picture? Is there more to managing your online reputation than just responding to individual reviews?
Absolutely. It's about weaving this culture of feedback into the DNA of your business, showing both your current customers and potential ones that their opinions matter to you.
So how do you actually demonstrate that engagement? What are some tangible things businesses can do?
I'd recommend two key strategies. First, as we've discussed, respond to those reviews regularly. Don't let them sit there for weeks. Acknowledge them, thank those happy customers, address any concerns, and show that you're actively listening.
It's like when someone strikes up a conversation with you, you don't just ignore them, you engage.
Right. And the second strategy is to promote those positive reviews. Don't let them just gather dust on your Google business profile. Share them on social media, put them on your website, even include them in your marketing materials. Let those happy customers do the talking for you.
It's like having a whole cheer squad spreading the good word about your business. And we all know how much we trust recommendations from other people, especially in today's world.
Absolutely. By showcasing those positive reviews, you're basically leveraging that social proof to attract even more customers.
It's a win-win. Now, while we're on the topic of online reviews and reputation management, it's important to remember that we're operating within a specific business environment here in Australia.
You're right. We need to make sure our approach aligns with Australian values and, of course, those all-important regulations.
So what are some key things Aussie businesses should keep in mind when they're navigating this world of online reviews?
Well, as we mentioned earlier, the ACCC, the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, plays a crucial role in making sure everyone plays fair and protects consumers. Their guidelines extend to online reviews too, with a strong emphasis on honesty and transparency.
So no funny business. Businesses need to be upfront about how they manage reviews and avoid anything that could be perceived as misleading or deceptive.
Exactly. No offering incentives for positive reviews or trying to manipulate those review scores. It's all about building genuine trust with your customers. And that starts with being ethical and transparent.
And I imagine that also applies to how you respond to negative reviews, right?
Absolutely. When responding to negative reviews, businesses need to be genuine in their attempts to resolve the issue and avoid making any false or misleading statements.
So it's not about trying to bury negative feedback. It's about addressing it honestly and professionally.
You got it. And remember, Australians can spot a fake apology a mile away. So be genuine in your efforts to make things right.
It all comes down to showing your customers that you value their feedback, good or bad.
Exactly. And that commitment to customer satisfaction can really set you apart and build that all-important trust and loyalty. You know what really strikes me about the connection between reviews and the Australian business landscape is this emphasis on honesty and transparency. It's not just about following the rules, it's about really embodying those values in every interaction, especially online.
It's about being upfront with customers, acknowledging their concerns, and working to create a positive experience.
That's a fantastic point. It's about building a reputation for trustworthiness and reliability, which are crucial for success in the Australian market. And that leads us perfectly into the next part of our deep dive. All right, so we've talked about tackling those individual reviews, both the good and the not so good ones. But let's zoom out for a second and look at this bigger picture of review engagement. It's more than just reacting to comments here and there, right?
You're talking about creating a culture where customer feedback is actually valued and, more importantly, acted on.
Exactly. It's about showing those customers, both the ones you've got and the ones you're hoping to attract, that their opinions matter, you're actually listening, not just collecting those stars.
So how do businesses actually show they're engaged? What are some things they can do?
I always recommend a two-pronged approach. First, as we've discussed,
Mhm.
respond to those reviews regularly. Don't wait weeks. Acknowledge them. Thank those happy customers, address any concerns, and show that you're actively listening.
Like if someone strikes up a conversation, you don't just walk away, right? You engage.
Right. And the second thing is shout those positive reviews from the rooftops.
Love that.
Yeah, don't let those 5-star reviews just sit there on your Google business profile.
Mhm.
Share them on social media, put them on your website, sprinkle them in your marketing materials. Let those happy customers do the talking for you.
It's like having your own little army of happy customers spreading the good word. And it's so powerful because people really do rely on those recommendations these days.
Absolutely. By showcasing those positive reviews, you're basically letting your customers do the selling for you.
Now, that's a smart marketing strategy. But let's shift gears a bit. We've been talking about reviews and building this awesome online reputation, but it's important to remember that we're operating in a specific business environment here in Australia.
You're absolutely right. The way we approach reviews in online marketing should definitely reflect Australian values and, of course, those regulations.
So what are some key things Aussie businesses need to be thinking about when they're navigating this world of online reviews?
Well, as we touched on earlier, the ACCC, the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, they're all about making sure things are above board when it comes to competition and consumer protection. Their guidelines cover online reviews too, and they really emphasize honesty and transparency.
So no funny business. Businesses need to be upfront about how they handle reviews and steer clear of anything that could seem shady or misleading.
Exactly. No offering incentives for positive reviews or trying to manipulate those review scores. It all comes back to building trust with those customers.
And I'm guessing that also applies to how you respond to those negative reviews.
Absolutely. When a customer leaves a negative review, businesses need to be genuine in their attempts to fix the problem. No empty apologies, no misleading statements.
So it's not about trying to sweep those negative comments under the rug. It's about tackling them head on with honesty and professionalism.
You got it. And remember, Australians value authenticity. They can spot a fake apology a mile away.
Yeah, be genuine in your efforts to make things right. It shows you care.
Exactly. And that commitment to customer satisfaction can really set you apart.
You know what really resonates with me about this whole connection between reviews and the Australian business landscape is this emphasis on honesty and transparency. It's not just about ticking the boxes and following the rules. It's about genuinely embodying those values in every interaction, especially in the online world.
It's about being upfront with those customers, acknowledging their concerns, and really working to create that positive experience. That's a fantastic point. It's about building a reputation for being trustworthy and reliable, and that is essential for success here in Australia. And speaking of success, I think it's time we moved on to the final part of our deep dive, where we wrap everything up and leave our listener with some food for thought.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? From why those Google reviews are so important for Aussie businesses to crafting those review requests and even tackling those tricky negative reviews.
And we've touched on making sure that whole review strategy is aligned with those core Australian values. Honesty, transparency, genuine engagement. It's not just about getting those 5-star reviews, it's about doing it the right way.
It's been a fascinating conversation, and I feel like we've uncovered some real gems. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with something to ponder, a thought-provoking question to spark some ideas.
Ooh, I like that. Little homework assignment.
Exactly. So here it is. Imagine you're running a small cafe here in Melbourne. You've got the amazing coffee, the delicious pastries, the friendly staff, the cozy atmosphere. But how do you translate all of that into a compelling Google Business Review profile? How do you adapt these templates and strategies to really capture the unique heart and soul of your cafe?
That's such a good question because it's not a one-size-fits-all approach, is it?
Exactly.
It's about taking those core principles, the personalization, the specificity, the simplicity, and weaving them into the fabric of your business.
Maybe you mention a customer's favorite pastry in your review request or highlight the barista's latte art skills when you respond to a review. It's those little personal touches that make all the difference.
And don't be afraid to experiment a little. Play around with those templates, inject your brand's personality, and most importantly, have fun with it. Because when you're genuinely enthusiastic about your business, it shows.
And remember, Building a strong Google Business Review profile, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time and effort and consistent engagement. But trust me, when those positive reviews start pouring in and you see the impact they have, it's totally worth it.
Absolutely. So go out there, put these strategies into practice, and watch your online reputation flourish. And remember, every interaction is an opportunity to create a positive impression and build those lasting relationships with your customers.
What a fantastic note to end on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of Google Business Reviews. We'll catch you next time.